Well, I'm going to move right on to you, Jeff.
Oh,
You brought this to my attention. Let me get this banner off there real quick. So topic 2 is the Queen Studios U.S. distribution. I want to bring up some graphics that you provided, and we'll talk a little bit about this because, again, I do not know much about it at all. But this is what we saw. And this says Master Series overseas pre-order criteria for USA. Oh, I guess
that's the second.
Okay, sorry. I had them out of order. So this is option 1, total order value, and it says collectors who have reached or exceeded a total order value of $9,400 on any of Queen Studios collectibles will be eligible to pre-order a Master Series collectible starting with the new Doctor Strange life-size bust. And Master Series collectible to me sounds like expensive. So 2, the total value of the order will be accepted. This means if you have only paid the deposit, we will fully accept the full item's value instead of what has been paid off. All orders will be qualified in advance of the pre-order start time. If you don't have an existing pre-order history with Queen Studios online store or an authorized partner, you will be required to provide screenshots of previous orders to prove eligibility. So what does all this mean to you? Like, whenever you saw this, what got you excited?
Excited.
Well, I should preface it by saying that Queen Studios posted this on Facebook, and then they removed it from Facebook. So,
sorry, Queen Studios. I might be screwing everything up here.
So it's entirely possible that because of overwhelming negative reaction that they have decided to reconsider this policy. But with that in mind, it seems like they're trying to cater to their better customers,
loyal customers,
people who spend more money with them by giving them at least first shot, if not maybe exclusive shot, at ordering some of their most impressive pieces, which I think is going to be exceedingly frustrating for someone who might just be seeing Queen Studios for the first time.
Yeah. Are they saying that you can't order Doctor Strange bust unless you
They're saying to be eligible to pre-order one, you have to have spent $9,400 with the company.
Yep.
It can be pre-orders. It doesn't have to be something that's shipped, but that's what they're saying.
Yeah.
I just don't get that at all. Like, why wouldn't you just reward people with reward points or discounts or things like that to your loyal customers?
Because they want more money.
That's a good question. So I reached out to John at Queen Studios and asked if this was a policy that's going into effect, or the fact that they removed it, does that mean they're reconsidering? And I'm waiting for his response.
All right. So hopefully John will respond. The second part was what they had said is pre-ordered Queen Studios' new Loki life-size bust and Iron Studios life-size bust. So basically you would have to buy both of those busts in order to qualify for the Doctor Strange bust. And
doesn't make sense.
Yeah, I just and I don't know if maybe like these were options they were weighing, like as a company, like should we do option number 1? Should we do option number 2? But yeah, I just feel like that would really alienate a lot of people.
Yeah, it's like, are they making that much money? They just feel like, hey, we don't need everybody else's money. Just our most valuable customers, we're only selling to them for now on. It's like,
well, I mean, what if like I love Doctor Strange, but I can't stand Loki? I have to buy Loki to get it. Like that.
No, there you go with option 1. You have to spend $10,000.
Yeah,
like 2 statues with them.
And what if I'm at 5,000? I've got to like really get my dollars up to get to that next level before I'm able to pre-order. Oh, now the pre-orders are.
Well, that's the other. It kind of sounds like you have to spend a lot of money with them to qualify for that Strange bust.
And they're only making 200.
Yeah, that's the thing. Is do you think that's why? Is that they wanted to make it more fair or had a better chance to get it because it is such a low ES? I mean, that's an incredible low ES.
Are they trying to boost sales on those older pieces? Are those other 2 pieces sold out or doing well? Maybe they're trying to like push the sales on those pieces first. I
bet Loki's doing fairly well. It was an incredible piece.
Yeah.
But not everybody's going to spend whatever $4,000. I mean, that's a lot of money.
Yeah, when we had John on the show recently, I asked him a question about edition size, because they had just brought something out, and remind me what piece it was. I can't remember, but the total edition size was only $3.99. And I thought that was really strange because it was something very popular. And he gave a response to how they wanted to have a set ES because they didn't want to open it up and just get out of hand and suddenly you have a huge amount of pre-orders. And I didn't understand that response from a business perspective. Why wouldn't you want, because they haven't shied away from very large edition sizes. That Gal Gadot Wonder Woman is very large.
Yeah.
The Tom Holland Spider-Man quarter scale, that's very large. So I'm not sure, I didn't understand his response. And so I don't know why they're only making 200 of Doctor Strange. It's obviously one of the best busts if they come through. It's
Sure.
one of the best busts ever.
Yeah, it's incredible.
So why make it so exclusive unless it's going to be some just like
it's
$10,000 or something like that.
It's like going back to what we said earlier. They're trying to like just corner that prestige market of it's lower edition size. It's more collectible.
But even Vision is like 338 or something. I mean, why would you make more Vision than Doctor Strange? I don't know.
I don't know either. And Matt T brings up a question too: is are retailers going to be able to buy these?
Good question.
I mean, they're
it's probably going to sell out so fast. I don't think you need it.
Well, maybe
if it's only 200. I mean,
would that piss the retailers off? Like, hey, we want to bring this to our customers.
Right.
I don't know.
I don't know. I don't. This is like the 1/6 scale Joker thing, with it was only going to be available for a couple, so many days, and then other retailers had it available, wide open, and it kind of seemed like they were not really sure who was doing this or what was going on with it, but I mean, you can still order it. So I don't quite know how they could control who buys it and who doesn't if retailers can get this. Somebody's going to have Doctor Strange for sale.
Yeah.
Even if there is just 200.
Well, I do wonder because, they're saying in that post that you have to provide proof to them that you've made those purchases. So how does that work to order it from Todd, for example?
It says to take screenshots and show it to them. Yeah.
But yeah, you have to provide that to Queen Studios. So
yeah,
I suspect that maybe that we only will be able to order from Queen Studios. I'm not sure.
Yeah, sure.
It's pretty interesting.
Brian reminded me in the chat that it was Scarlet Witch that I asked John about that had the edition size of $3.99.
Okay.
Unless it was meant to say like we're giving first the dibs to our our most valuable customers first, and then the rest of the pre-orders will open to the public. But at 200, I mean, 200 is going to go quick either way.
But the post doesn't say that. It
kind of reminds me of like for example, New York Comic Con tickets. Like they release tickets ahead of time to their previous customers, and then they open the rest to the public a month later. But that's a lot more volume than just 200. So I don't know.
Well, yeah, it's
and can they ship that to the United States for people that buy it directly from them? Because when you go to their website, I get a pop-up that says, certain things I can't order it based on where I'm dialing in from.
Doctor Strange, you can.
Well, the fact that they pulled it down, something's strange about Strange.
Yeah. I don't want to toot our own horn here, but I feel like this goes back to that thing where I wish sometimes that the companies would kind of run it by us. It's like I feel like we have a pretty good pulse with the community, and not just our channel, but a lot of channels.
Yeah.
Or even go into the fan groups and say, what would you guys think about this before you make an announcement like that, and then get the torches come out.
Yep.
Because I hadn't really looked at what Jeff posted. I knew there would be a good topic to talk about. I wanted to kind of pick his brain. But listening to the conversation, it's like, well, that was just stupid. It just was not a very good, it wasn't well thought out. People are obviously going to get upset about it, especially the people that, hey, I've got my 4,000 ready to go, and now I'm not going to have a chance to buy it. I could have said to John or somebody, said, hey, this is not going to work. This is not going to go well. And so I wish that they would maybe, and they are a company, especially that listens to the fans, and maybe that's again, why they pulled it so quick, but I feel like you have that conversation ahead of time and say, do you think this is a good idea? Do you think it's not a good idea? I mean, I have statue companies all the time come to me. I know they've come to Jeff before in the past and said, hey, what do you think of this? Is this a good idea? Do you think people will like this? And I love that. I love that they come to us and say, hey, they appreciate our feedback, because again, we do have a pulse with what's going on in the community. And we have enough people contact us daily that say, hey, what's going on with this or that. And maybe our advice isn't always perfect. I don't know, but I know companies have flat out taken my advice and applied it. And that's pretty exciting.
Yeah, Queen Studios does that sometimes. I mean,
they do.
John messaged me last night about something, maybe messaged you too, asking a question. Do you think we should do this piece or this piece? But maybe, I'm not sure, this could be a business related decision that the creative folks might not even be aware of,
And also, no, just going back to the edition size, maybe they might be keeping it low just to keep the quality control in check. I mean, maybe they don't feel confident doing 1,000 of them, or maybe the factories don't want to sit there and try to reproduce 1,000 of them and try to make them more.
But there's something annoying when you've got, I've got like 9 or 10 pieces up for pre-order from Queen Studios right now. And now maybe I'm hearing.
Wow, by the way, wow. That's awesome. Wow. That's wow.
And now I'm hearing that, there's going to be a new thing that's going to be really high quality.
So you qualify, though. You have a lot of pre-orders.
Well, yeah, but to me, it's like, well, what about the ones I have on pre-order?
Yeah, way to go and order all that pre-order crap that you're buying.
We have to order through Jeff. He has the hookup. He spent the night.
Have you reached the diamond level to be able to buy Doctor Strange?
I haven't added the dollar amount together.
You could be like a retailer.
You may be a little short on being able to purchase Doctor Strange.
I probably am, because 3 of my pre-orders
go to the multiverse to
masterpiece editions. They're only $350 each, so that probably killed my chances for Doctor Strange.
Well, when you started hearing about John being on the show and saying, well, this Loki has real leather, like they're upping the quality and they want to continue to do that.
Yeah.
Which is great, but that also means cha-ching. That means more money, and probably potentially lower ESs. Which again, there's good and bad at all of that. But you can't. I feel like you have to be real careful. Like you said, you can't say like, "Whoa, this is way better quality than their other bus." Yeah, that makes all your other bus look like crap.
Yes, exactly.
That makes me not want to buy your new hot thing, because your new hotter thing is coming soon.
Right.
Yep.
And so you have to be real careful with the verbiage, I think. And maybe that's something that there's obviously growing pains. Queen Studios is still a very new company.
It's real leather. You can only kill so many cows at once. Right. The animal rights groups might come in.
So,
so many cows.
If Queen Studios is watching right now, and John, you're watching, like, again, I just feel like you just have to be careful with your verbiage. You don't want to alienate your fan base, which things like that absolutely could, those images that we showed. And so again, I think that by pulling them, that tells me that, and I didn't know that it was being pulled, I don't think. And I didn't even see the original post, but that does tell me that, okay, well, we're going to listen to feedback. We're going to try to do something else, whether it's a Queen Studios fan club or something. They could do a lot of different things to try to, do loyalty points or loyalty options. I know, I'm a DVC owner with Disney, and being a DVC owner at a certain resort, I get access to pre-order or book my hotel before everybody else does. It's like a 13-month window or something like that. So I'm an owner at the Polynesian, so I get to book before everybody else does. That's a perk of owning, and maybe they could do something similar. But I don't feel like you should ever alienate or exclude someone from buying your product. I mean, that's just bad business.
Yeah, and I'm glad
that like they need a public relations person to read this stuff before they post it and think, no, we're not putting that out, because people are going to start crapping sideways.
Yeah,
I do like that they do adjust if something doesn't go over well. When the half scale Captain America first came out at $3,000 or whatever, and people screamed and yelled, and almost immediately suddenly it's $2,200.
Yeah.
I mean, It's kind of like, oh God, why didn't you think of that beforehand? But at least they do adjust because, Prime One doesn't necessarily adjust at all to comments. They did for Superman Hush. I remember when Superman Hush was being sculpted and they were putting out renders, people were saying, oh, the head's too small. And half an hour later, they would come out with a revised render. And then, there's this problem. And they worked through that with the fans, and it was so cool, but we haven't seen that much from them lately.
That kind of just went 180. If you're not really happy with it, it's like, well, we're going to do something completely different from that.
Yeah.
You don't want to lose that. I mean, that, especially if that's what made you stand out.
Yeah.
There are companies that will absolutely not listen to the fans.
Oh, yeah.
There are companies that do their own thing, and no matter what the feedback is, they're just going to do it, whether they sell one statue or not.
Yeah.
And there are other companies, again, that we talk about Queen all the time, that Queen has always listened. And so that it's so important that they continue to do that.
Mm-hmm. XM listens too.
What?
They do.
XM listens too.
Very much.
XM listens too.
They can get snarky with their replies, but that's okay. It's charming.
Yeah.
I agree. It is funny to see how they respond, because I think they wear their heart on their sleeve sometimes.
Yeah.
And it's very personal because this is their personal art. So I get that. They're artists themselves. And so I understand that. But at the end of the day, the customers are who's buying your product. And if they're not happy with it, they're not going to buy it.
Yeah.
They're going to look next door and buy that one.
Yep.
And that's the thing, is there used to be companies that were only 2 or 3 companies out there.
Mm-hmm.
But now there's a whole bunch, and there's a whole bunch of really good quality out there. And so there might be 3 or 4 the Batmans that you can buy from Queen Studios and Prime One Studio and J&D Studio and probably Sideshow 5 years from now. Sorry, Sideshow, I have to give you a hard time. But Iron Studios, Nathan says Iron Studios. So it's like there's all these different companies. So again, there's so much choice. You have to listen to your fan base. Again, going back to Disney's getting a lot of flack right now because they are not listening to their fan base at all. People are very frustrated with the decisions that the CEO are making. And at the end of the day, if you take off enough people, it's going to affect their bottom line. Maybe not today, but down the road it will. And that's what's going to happen with these statue companies as well, especially when the price continues to go up. People are going to be real choosy. And so if you don't hook them and you're not loyal to your fans and loyal to listening, it's going to come back to bite you in the butt. I guarantee it.
Yeah. And if I can do a 30-second rant, and we've been talking about this for years, Prime One really needs to up their customer service. I'm still hearing collectors saying they received pieces broken and they're contacting customer service, and Prime One is telling them to super glue it. That's insane. That's crazy. Or, there's paint missing. Oh, we'll paint it with this color. They give them the name of the color. You can paint it with this.
That's nice.
Who wants to do that? So they need to step up on their customer service big time.
I agree. And I think part of that problem is especially if you order direct, like that's a big shipping nightmare because you're shipping it back or whatever.
Well, boy, they better get it right when they ship it then, I guess.
No, I know. And that's the thing, is like, and I think I've had maybe one thing broken out of all the pieces that I've ever had, which is pretty damn incredible.
Mm-hmm.
Same with XM, like their packaging, like I wish everybody packaged like XM.
I don't hear XM customers with these same problems getting these responses that you get from Prime One.
No, and that's the same thing as that's a big shipping difference.
Oh yeah, that's what I mean. Yeah.
Obviously if you buy from Sideshow a Prime One piece, it's easier, at least most of the time. Sometimes there is a delay of getting stuff from them, pieces and parts. And oftentimes, again, they won't always fit together right.
Yep.
But yeah, customer service needs to improve in terms of returns and things like that. I mean, like I did get a great response about that talent. It was, less than 24 hours. So there is customer service there, but there's other aspects that need to maybe be improved, like you said, for sure.
Going back to lower edition sizes, that's the issue when you do have something that arrives broken, because there's been times where I've had something that was broken arrive, and a lot of the Prime One pieces are low edition sizes, and they were like, well, we don't have any parts, so you could send it back for a full refund, and that's about it. we're not sending any extra parts or anything like that, or there's no replacements available. So
Yep. So anything else you guys want to talk about on this topic with this? I feel like we've maybe exhausted it.
yeah.
Yep.
Yeah.
Let's look at pictures.
Hey guys, thank you so very much for watching today. And if you're new here, please hit the subscribe button right here on the screen and check out these 2 awesome videos. I think you're going to love them. And also please join us on social media, Facebook, Twitter, Instagram, and TikTok. I would love to have you join in all the fun. Thank you guys so very much for watching. See you in the Batcave.